Certainly St. Francis was a man of great peace and love and joy, but he was a man who he did have a soft heart. He had a very soft heart. So soft, no sinner was too horrible for that St. Francis wouldn't embrace him. And St. Francis said any sinner, no matter how horrible their crimes are, that the brothers should embrace that sinner and be merciful and kind to that sinner. So St. Francis indeed had the softest of hearts, but St. Francis didn't have a soft head. He had a very, very solid way of thinking. He was not easily confused by fuzzy gray arguments. He knew what the truth was, and he stood for it, and he didn't mess around with any kind of specious interpretations of it. He was absolute death on anyone who rebelled against church teaching. He was not easygoing on them. Those who were not well disposed, he was very clear thinking. Soft-hearted, yes. Soft-headed, no. He lived poverty, as I said, very radically. He had nothing. You know, when the time came for him to die after tremendous suffering, he wanted to be laid on the ground. He went back to Assisi, where he had started. And you know, he said a beautiful blessing over his hometown of Assisi. And I'll tell you this, anyone who has ever been to Assisi that I've ever talked to will tell you that to this very day, an incredible peace lies over the beautiful town of Assisi. And many believe that it's the blessing of St. Francis that has always protected that town. But he certainly lived radical poverty. He didn't want to have anything of his own, gave away everything, renounced his inheritance, didn't want anything to do with wealth. Now, why would he do that? You see, St. Francis understood, as only saints really understand. He was in touch with reality. Now, reality is God. Absolute, objective, quintessential, pure reality is God. I am who am, God said to Moses on the mountain. That God is the perfectly real. If we're out of touch with God, we're out of touch with reality. And that's what's wrong with society, by the way. Society's out of touch with reality. And you know, being out of touch with reality is a good working definition of insanity. You know, you got to be in touch with reality to be sane. If you're out of touch with reality, you can't recognize it for what it is, then you know, you're not in your right mind. This society is not in its right mind, and that's why it's beginning to self-destruct. And unless something very radical takes place, the society will self-destruct. We have a death wish. We want to commit suicide. And that's what we're doing. Socially, economically, and morally, we are committing suicide. You go apart from the God who is life itself, and that's a death wish.